So as I mentioned before, how if you had come to our website and you had checked out our pricing page, or maybe you watched an on-demand webinar, all of that data is stored through this qualified signals product. And it also indicates different trends. So if several people from WriteForMe were coming to the website, then the signals trend would be on fire, and your corresponding rep would know that and be able to see what was interesting to you, and then address you in the most appropriate and personalized way.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Lauren Newman. She's the marketing manager at Qualified. Lauren, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Kelsey. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to have you. So Lauren, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, as you said, I'm a marketing manager at Qualified, specifically have a focus in campaigns. And Qualified is based in the San Francisco Bay Area, which is where I live. But we have employees throughout the country and even internationally. I got my start in marketing at a full service agency right after college, and it was there that I sort of developed a niche for B2B marketing. So then I went to a cybersecurity company that was primarily B2B focused as well. And that's where I met Sarah McConnell, who's my current manager. And we were customers of Qualified. And then she eventually went and joined the marketing team at Qualified, and I followed suit not long after. And here we are today.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's a great story. So tell me about Qualified then.
Yeah, absolutely. So Qualified is a pipeline generation platform for B2B companies that use Salesforce, which is a big group.
Yeah.
And what that means is we help companies generate more pipeline from their number one marketing asset, their corporate website.
Mm-hmm.
And that's done primarily through giving reps the ability to have live conversations with VIPs right on their website through chat, voice, and video.
Oh, neat. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. So what we do is we connect your corporate website to Salesforce, which gives sales reps the ability to have a crystal clear view as to who's on their website.
Yeah.
So Kelsey, if you were a target buyer and you were in our Salesforce system and we've sent you emails or we've engaged you in various campaigns, maybe you went to one of our virtual events, that's all stored in Salesforce.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come to the website, our sales rep would be notified that a VIP buyer is on your website. It's Kelsey McDonald from WriteForMe.
Yeah.
And they would be able to see all of that history, first and third party buyer intent, and engage you in a really high quality, personalized conversation with you. Because no one wants to feel like they were sent to the back of the line, which is what most people feel like when they get to a website because they run into a form. And no one fills out forms anymore.
So it's totally live then?
Yeah. Well, it depends who you are. So if you're our target market, if we want to talk to you basically, then we want to make sure that you're fast tracked to sales immediately.
Yeah.
But if you're my mother, I love my mother. Like we don't necessarily need her to be talking to our sales reps. So maybe we show her a really cool bot experience that gives her great content so she can learn more about Qualified.
So Salesforce has a ton of different users. That's a huge audience base. So what are the specific titles of your target audiences that you're looking to target with your marketing and with Qualified?
So primarily we target demand gen teams, so CMOs, VP of demand gen. And the reason for that is because pipeline is their number one concern, especially now with tighter budgets and sales cycles are more complex. Marketing teams have a big responsibility to generate more pipeline coverage to meet their revenue goals. So we sell into VPs of demand gen and CMOs, as I said, because we really help them generate more ROI from all of their marketing spend. They're all of their spend on ads, on events, on social media, everything, and all of the sales teams and their outbound emails, all of that is to send them back to their corporate website. So ours, qualified is what turns that traffic into pipeline.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. And that's for our conversations product. We also have a buyer intent product called Qualified Signals, and that's more toward the RevOps titles. But it's also important to marketing. So sort of that umbrella is who we focus on.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit more about that product.
About signals.
Yeah.
So it allows you to tap into a gold mine of data, first party and now third party. So as I mentioned before, how if you had come to our website and you had checked out our pricing page, or maybe you watched an on-demand webinar, all of that data is stored through this Qualified Signals product. And it also indicates different trends. So if several people from WriteForMe were coming to the website, then the signals trend would be on fire, and your corresponding rep would know that and be able to see what was interesting to you. Maybe you were checking out the enterprise plan, like they can see all of your activity and then address you in the most appropriate and personalized way.
Interesting. So it sounds like that really personalized approach is what makes Qualified stand out from its competition then.
Exactly. Yeah, we really focus on human-centric selling as opposed to just throwing up a bot, for example, because that's really the direction that marketing is going, and that's what modern buyers expect from every buying experience. And I think we've learned that from B2C world.
Totally. What are other ways that, besides this human-centric selling, that Qualified is able to stand out from its competition?
That's a great question. So I think the main point would be our focus on Salesforce, both from a company and a product perspective. From a company perspective, our founders are all former Salesforce executives. We're funded by Salesforce, a lot of Salesforce blood. And from a product perspective, we're built completely natively on Salesforce. And as we've been talking about, that really gives you a huge advantage into visibility. And just what you can do with making your website a smart website. Secondly, we're not solely chat focused, and a lot of our competitors are. And that goes back to what we were talking about in terms of Qualified Signals, and also that ability to have a live conversation. And then our last one, and probably what's given us the most momentum, is how we prioritize success. We have what's called a whatever it takes approach, and our qualified success architects, or what most people think of as a customer success architect, or customer success manager, they become an extension of our customers' teams. If you go on G2, for example, our customers just absolutely rave about them, and you like, they take that relationship so seriously. Like, they take the time to learn about our customers' target markets, to understand their strategies and what's important. And they even help them report out on success so they can prove ROI of how Qualified's helping them. So that's probably what sets us apart the most.
Yeah, that's so interesting too. And I'm sorry, what was the name of them? They were the
QSA, Qualified Success Architects. Yeah.
I love that name because it's tailored really to specifically what you're looking for, and being an extension of that team and really focusing on, the qualifications of what makes that success happen.
Yes, it's a really special relationship. And I used to be a customer, and Katie O'Neill, who I work with now as my coworker, was my QSA. And I was such a relief to work with her. I told her what different marketing initiatives we were going for, and she helped me brainstorm like what different experiences we could have. And she actually helped me learn how to use Salesforce.
No way.
One who didn't have a ton of experience with it. So yeah, that's just one example. Like I said, on G2, there are hundreds of examples.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about how Qualified has been able to build, because obviously you're the marketing manager. So how has Qualified been able to build its brand name and continue to reach and educate new customers?
Great question. Um, we do obviously display and typical advertising to really
Mhm.
get our name out there. We also have a strong presence at events. We were just a big sponsor at Dreamforce, which is Salesforce's conference that has, can't remember the exact amount of people that were there, but I think it was in the 50,000 ballpark.
Oh yeah.
And we had a big booth there. We had several sessions that were overflowing.
Oh, nice.
So events are important. Paid ads are important, SEM,
Yeah.
all of the typical um, tactics you would
Yeah.
use to get your name out there. We
Yeah.
also just had an incredible virtual event called Pipeline Summit.
Okay.
And Sarah Franklin, the CMO of Salesforce, joined us along with some really incredible CMOs and other demand gen leaders. And our registration was huge for that. We got a lot of great traffic to our website. Our name was definitely put out there on LinkedIn. And when you have an event like that, what I love about that is it was purely valuable content
Mhm.
with different plays and tactics that our target market could take away. And it
Mhm.
was not very transactional. It was just really great marketing, really great content marketing.
Yeah.
Um, so I think for me personally, that's my favorite form of awareness marketing. And it really does drive demand at the end of the day.
Yeah. So if someone was looking to, reach out to Qualified, get engaged with a QSA, how would they go about, reaching out and first interacting with Qualified?
Well, happily, that's sort of what our product is best at. If you just go to qualified.com, you will likely be greeted by someone, a real human. And you can say hi. There's also several contact us buttons
Mhm.
that will get you fast track to sales. And we'd love to tell you more about how we can help you drive pipeline from your website.
That's so interesting. That's great and brilliant marketing for your own marketing, right? Um,
Yeah.
so, so if you were to leave our listeners with one thing kind of about Qualified or about the space and engagement or marketing in general, what would you want to leave our listeners with?
Treat your website visitors like humans
Mm.
and give them content like you would want to receive. And I
Mhm.
think that's what marketing is about, whether it's B2B or B2C. And that's really what Qualified does.
I love that. I love that. And it's so clear in your product too. Like I can hear the passion behind your voice and really that human centric selling really is the new expectation of interfacing with a human. I think you nailed it right on the head with that human centric selling and really the importance of interfacing with humans and putting the product first because you've got a great product and being able to sell that with your QSAs. I think it's a fantastic model and certainly I think Qualified is lucky to have someone as eloquently spoken and great as you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
So, Lauren Newman, thanks for being on Business Ninjas. This has been great having you.
Thank you so much for having me, Kelsey.